What's up? It's your boy Villa, and you watching an exclusive 416 interview. Yeah!
Take us from the beginning. How did you first get into music, and when was like the first time you started creating music?
From like an early age, I was always like around music in general. Uh, Came from like a big musical background as far as like my family goes. Was a big church goer, so my mom and my aunt were in the choir. So kind of got like that early influence as far as just like that I guess like that singing ability just being like in my ear, you know what I'm saying? So going to like choir rehearsals, being around them outside of that just to hear them sing and stuff like that. And then like my dad was like big on like music and stuff like that. So he was like a big like mixtape head. So burning CDs, like making his own mixes and shit like that. And like I think that all kind of correlated with just like my upbringing and just like what I was around. So, big R&B fanatic in my household. Like Michael Jackson was probably like one of the first people that kind of like I heard and just like regurgitated as far as just like understanding, you know what I'm saying? So, it kind of started with that, just like with the musical ability as far as like singing and shit like that. And then that kind of just like pushed on to just avenues of just like creating in general. So that kind of was like my childhood till like maybe my eighth grade year of like middle school. That's when I got my hands on like a tablet, which was funny because like as like a kid, like I was just like on the net, you know what I'm saying? I'm just looking at new shit. Around that time, I was just curious about any and everything. I was trying to find like vocal recordings. And then I think the crazy thing is like I stumbled upon like SoundCloud like the first year that it came out, like didn't understand what it was. Yeah, like I didn't understand because like I thought it was just like some video recorder. So I downloaded it and I was recording like a lot of my early music on that, you know what I'm saying? And then that led to just like me making just so much shit. Like I just was like freestyling and stuff like that. Um and then it just kind of just went from there, from just that, just showing people what I made to where it kind of led me to people who had studios and actual equipment. So around like eighth grade year, um, it's kind of when it all started. But like the transition to like rap, it all started from Good Kid, Mad City and shit like that. Like I don't know, that album kind of like just sparked something in me to actually start to rap. So after I heard like that album, I was like, this is something that I have to do. Like it was like calling me, like it was bigger than me at that point. So
Is Spotify newer than SoundCloud?
um, I'm not actually sure.
Because what I wanted to ask you is, if you were at the beginning of SoundCloud and if Spotify came later, what do you think had a bigger impact on not just your music but just the whole like era of when both those two started coming out?
So you talking about like comparing the two, like when they first started coming out?
Yeah.
The thing with like SoundCloud is we can't undermine the kind of like open arm approach that SoundCloud had to where any and everybody can get on it. So half of I think of why we follow a certain industry standard is because of those people and because of that platform. So I look at the difference between the two on some like what's a good analogy? Like this might not be a good analogy, but like I look at SoundCloud like when you trying to go outside with your friends and have fun and shit like that. And like outside might not be the safest place for you to go, but you're damn sure gonna have the best time out there and even embark on some crazier shit. And like Spotify is like coming back home, like it's grounded, it's structured, it's safer, you know what I'm saying? But there's less experimental, it's more like it's not as like freeing because you home, so you got to do certain things. You got to follow a certain standard and shit like that. And uh, there's not a lot of the world isn't in your home. You know what I'm saying? For me though, like that's the difference between the platforms. Like I know a lot of people that have came up from Spotify as like hit the algorithm and shit like that, but I haven't really done that. But SoundCloud has opened doors for me and a lot of people that I'm still connecting with to this day. So
Facts, no, I feel like a lot of people would say the same thing because, like, SoundCloud's got its own kind of era, right? We call it SoundCloud era when like 2016 to like 2018, you know? So, no, no, I just wanted your opinion on that because, bro, that's crazy. This is the first time someone's told me that, they've been with SoundCloud since like it's fucking dropped. That's nuts.
yeah, like I still don't believe it because like I said, it was something that I stumbled upon. Like I wasn't even like aware of it. Like I'm pretty sure, and a lot of people have told me this like over the years that I was the first person to introduce SoundCloud to my high school. And then after that, it was just kind of like it just became a thing. So like I don't know, bro. Like I just think about stuff like that to where it's like, damn, like I was on some early trend shit without even realizing I was on some early trend shit. Like I just wanted to record and that's what it told me the app was for, and then now it's a fucking multi-million-dollar fucking company and shit like that. But yeah, I thought that shit was crazy.
In your Instagram bio, it says, haunted house. You got a couple hashtags there. Hashtag bark bark. Hashtag woof woof. What did those mean? Like, what does it represent?
So look, that's like the whole jokes, right? So I think I don't know, it's just like me kind of creating just the kind of just the world that I'm in right now, or just in general. Like I think the funniest part of just about my artistry is like I'm very authentic and like genuine to like what I'm saying. Like, cause like, bro, at the end of the day, like I'm a dog ass nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not the best person in the world. I don't treat everybody in the world the best sort of way. Some girls might call me a dog, you know what I'm saying? So I kind of implement that and also the mindset of a dog, I'm like dog eat dog world. Like I think kind of having that mindset and creating that world of why I approach my music and why I approach my artistry like the way that I do. Um I think that's kind of what I wanted to get across like right now specifically because I have like a lot of ad libs that's kind of like resembling of like a dog or whatever, and then I have a project out right now, an EP called Down. So it's kind of supposed to like when you tell your dog like get down or down, like down boy, like type shit. And then I actually have like a project that I'm working on right now that I was telling you I was editing for called Docile. So I just kind of wanted to implement this kind of like dog-esque type of vibe. So that's why I'm like bark bark wolf wolf just to be more funny with it, you know what I'm saying? Cuz it's like, I'm trying to show like a lighter side of what it can get, you know what I'm saying? So, and I just think it was funny. Like I don't know why. Like I just randomly did it and I was just like I think it goes with the whole shit. So,
All right, bet. Why you call yourself Villa? What's the story behind that?
I think at the time when I came up with it, I had went by another alias, and I just feel like it wasn't fitting. I think it's just funny because like I used to go by Shy Yeti, which was a whole contradiction. It's like a shy beast, like a nonchalant beast. So it's like showing like I'm like a yin and yang of sorts. You know what I'm saying? But I kind of outgrew that name, and I kind of wanted to come up with something that was like kind of like catchy, but also familiar and something short and sweet that you can kind of like say quick. But I think with the name, it kind of grew into like a whole analogy with just like my mindset as far as an artist. Like, um, and a lot of people kind of like get like, I don't know, like if they get scared or if they get like it gives them a shock factor when I say it kind of deprives from the word villain. So a lot of people might be like, "Oh, so you the villain?" Da 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 da. But I'm coming into it in the sense of like the mindset of a villain, like a mindset of the villain. If you pay attention to any story, it almost starts with the villain. because of what he wants to go after. You know what I'm saying? It usually there is no story without it. So it's kind of like symbolic of saying you can't do it without me, or like there would be nothing without such and such, which is me in a sense. And then just the mentality of just going what I want and just going after by any means, which is the same mentality. Like they go after it however, whenever, you know what I'm saying? And you can't have a hero without the villain. Like if there was no bad guys, if there was no villains, you wouldn't have the other side. So it's kind of like saying like prototypical, like I'm the start all end all type of person.
Who influenced your sound the most?
It just comes from so many different sources, but I think my approach and like the majority of my sonics come from like Pharrell. So like Pharrell Williams, Neptune's, Nerd, just that whole aesthetic, that whole sound. I think that will always be like the base of it. And then it kind of pivots off from that to just like different shit. Like I don't know, like I think X is a big influence. Later on, uh around that time and shit, he kind of like showed me a different approach on top of what I was already doing. Um, and just like I like to tell people, like for me, music are just what I'm inspired by what I create is not necessarily always musically. It can be life, it can be movies, it could be TV shows, it could be people, clothes, all influence my thought process, like what I see, what I think, what I want to talk about. Um, so I think one of my favorite, just to like kind of go with that, like one of my favorite movies is like the Fast and Furious series, especially like the first three movies. So that aesthetic, that sound, that feeling, that just like I don't know, that vibe is kind of like a main approach. Like I always tell people, um, my music is like fast car music, like when you in your car and you just hitting the gas, like and you just turn that shit all the way up, like that is like the pinnacle, like where you can catch like what I'm trying to give off. So yeah, that's what I was saying.
Talk to me about your creative process. How do you create a song? Like, are you a freestyler? Do you like to write down? How's that look like?
That process kind of changes over time, and then uh yeah, it just kind of changed over time. So traditionally, like I started making a lot of like boom bap rap, classical rap, like classic hip hop and shit like that. So, you know, pen and pad, started writing it down. Then it went from that to just kind of what I was doing was like this thing where it was like I was doing like reference tracks, so I get on like a mic and I just kind of like mumble my words just to catch a vibe or a feel or a flow, and then I write on top of that. But nowadays, it's kind of like I've just perfected it to the point where I just kind of like want to go in the booth and just like freestyle. So I'm just going off the top, just like punching in, and it usually kind of just starts off like hearing the beat. I'm doing like this little mumble thing where I'm trying to catch the flow, and then the mumbles turn into like words. Then I start punching in, and then like it's just like a flow state where I'm just like da 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 da. You know what I'm saying? So it just happens like that, and like and that's like pretty much it. Like I can kind of do that any and everywhere. Like I've recorded in many spaces. Like I've actually minimized my like space of recording just to see how like good I can get. Like the majority of my like tracks that I recorded for the past year have been strictly from my phone. Like literally, like a lot of the tracks that are out are strictly from my phone, and I'm just trying to see how raw can I get by while also being minimalistic. Like so, I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job. So yeah, it's pretty much just the process of it right now.
And then the visuals on your page, they have like this kind of eerie cinematic kind of energy with like red lights, masks, and a lot of shadowing. How did you kind of like choose these kind of aesthetics and visuals to kind of portray your artistry?
This kind of goes with just like the image that I'm trying to create. You feel me? So when I say haunted house, like I think that was like a good way of depicting it because like honestly, bro, it's just like I wanted to give off like slightly scary movie-esque. You know what I'm saying? Like I want it to be eerie, I want it to be dark, I want it to be kind of like you know what I'm saying? I want it to be something that you just like lock in on because it is a darker tone. Because, you know, I feel like a lot of people either don't follow a certain like just a like a picture image. Because I feel like at the end of the day, you're showing a picture. So I feel like people nonchalantly like brush over the fact that um you're trying to create this world for people. You're trying to create this escape. You're trying to create this sense of like wonder of like okay, he's taking me outside of where I'm at right now to lock in what he's doing right now. So that's why I say a haunted house, scary movie and shit like that. Cause like I don't know, like I just feel that I guess it's been done, but I wanted to do it in a more like regurgitable like way. You know what I'm saying? Cause like a lot of the songs on there on my page, like especially with I guess like the last three are like on some like jerk type beats. So it's like imagine giving this eerie vibe, but the song isn't so like scary. You know what I'm saying? So it's like contradicting the vibe. What does that create for the viewer? Like how do they see that shit? And I think it's like a contradiction of where like I'm able to watch this while also being on the edge of my seat. You know what I'm saying? So
If you could kind of build a dream collab world, artists, producers, people to shoot your music videos for, who would you like put in that kind of group or world?
I think there's this videographer by the name of Wolf Sage, if I'm not being mistaken. He's pretty cool. He's really kind of pushing that kind of boundary as far as that. Um, funny enough, kind of going back into X and shit. A lot of his visuals were shot by JMP. I think he really gets like the grain as far as the color grade goes and the sequencing and like just how the shots are created and I think and this is really like where I want to take it because I don't think anyone's done it before, but who's ever directing like the Conjuring series, I need that. Like I need that. Like how can we express that in musical form? If we can figure that out, bro, and get all these people together to create this whole thing, like I don't know, bro. I feel like it would be creating this whole experience outside of just like what's going on. So
Any artists you would want to like collab with?
yeah,
Because I know you mentioned X. I'm assuming that's probably one of them as well, for sure.
yeah, for sure. Like if he was alive, there would be some crazy ass music for sure. But I don't know, like as far as artists, I guess Travis Scott would be cool. Um, like I'm not really big on the collaboration of artists necessarily, but producers like like I said, just going back into that, like Ronnie J. I feel like he's hard, like super underrated. Feel like he just came and went too quick. Um, Pharrell, of course, because like I said, the foundation that shit would be dope. Uh, fuck. It's like I be thinking about these things until it's time to say it, and it's like, yeah. But nah, I think that would be the premise. Oh, so I would go like crazy, like throwback with a lot of shit. So I'm going like Timberland. I fuck with Timberland stuff. Like, I need some sort of like some sort of like era with like Missy Elliott. I don't know how that would work. Like I need a year of just like her around, with there be features or just being in public. Like that shit just would be dope. Like I'm trying to bring that whole shit back. Oh, okay. So I'm gonna say that like the whole early 2000s era of like people who shot like Missy Elliott shit, Busta Rhymes, that whole wave, like that aesthetic on top of everybody else that I was saying. So that'll probably be the people that I'll definitely collab with for sure.
I bet. And then 5 years from now, what do you want people to say when they hear, the name Villa?
That I was so blessed to be born in the era to witness the greatest thing of all time. Like I want that name to be held on like the Mount Rushmore of just artistry in general. Like above it, like not even just artistry, just a name in just life. Like it needs to be bigger than that. Like because like that's like my whole mo. Like I feel like what I'm doing, what I'm creating, what I'm pushing forward is bigger than music in general. So like I don't want, it's not gonna be as simple as the best artist, greatest performer, this and the third. Like he made something and started something that everybody in the world had to witness. You know what I'm saying? So um I would never even undermine myself to just like the artistry standpoint, but that's just how I just view that shit.
Talk to us about, what you got coming out. I know you said your projects drop in the week that we're recording this interview, but what's going on after that? Any new songs dropping, new EPs, albums, concerts coming up?
Yeah, so by the time it's come out, new EP, Docile, it's gonna come with a lot of visuals. This is gonna be like how I'm setting it up, like one of my bigger visual pieces that kind of coincides with the whole eerie haunted house aesthetic, you know what I'm saying? Um, I'm going like real like all black for these visuals and stuff like that. So that's gonna be the main thing I'm pushing. We got a lot of different motion down here in Louisiana as far as just like parties and shit. Like uh we kind of just got every weekend on like this weekend. It's literally like Thursday, it's a show. Friday, it's a show slash party, and then Saturday it's a party. And then from every weekend on out, it'll just be like a party, but it'll be us promoting it. So we just trying to like push the brand, bring the people together so we can create like these bigger moments for like everybody to remember. So like um we try and create a lot of noise down here, man. Like and by the end of the year, I would think that a lot more people would start to recognize it that they got some shit going on down south. So definitely stay on the lookout for that for sure.
I bet. And then, talking about the future, what kind of direction do you want to push into next? As in, like, are you exploring new sounds or doubling down on, like, the music or kind of sound that you have right now?
The whole jokes with me is like I'm ADHD, so it's probably not gonna be this like in the future. Like I might be on some whole other shit, like cause like my mind is so sporadic and I create so much in such high volumes that I can't really stick to like a sound. I think with me it's just the acceptance of this is who I am, this is my world, and what comes with it is a lot of madness, is a lot of sporadicness, is a lot of spontaneousness. Like I said, like I might be eerie and dark right now, but then I might go full R&B gospel and young niggas literally like next week. Like this just the crazy fact about my mind. Like that's just how that shit worked for me. So all I'm gonna say is like it's definitely a roller coaster. So and you just gotta hold on tight and just like wait for the drop. Just see what happens. Like
my fish rhyme, I spend all night. It's a heat check, people temper. Love in the bit, it's a done dog. Money in my car, I ain't talking about banter. He way too broke, but you bounce up.